Hi guys, Tugger here with a new video, and this video will be more or less a update video about ARMS Warrior on the PTR for 10.0.5. And the reason why I make a video is because of a subscriber. He told me that Ignore Pain is coming back for ARMS. I didn't believe him, and actually I then checked Wowhead and the talent section, and indeed it came back. And I'm going to gloss over every new talent, every new ways to actually build your warrior, and once it is live, or at least once it is set in stone, I'm going to make a guide about the builds that you can go for as an arms warrior. The most important thing is it is still PTR, so it could also be that they are going to remove it in the future, but it looks good for arms. It looks very good. So the first thing you should notice in the class tree, I already discussed about it, you do get defensive stance baseline, and that's actually super good because you will have an extra point to spend on utility. Normally you will have to choose between fast footwork, intervene, inspiring presence. I always take rallying cry, to be honest. Pain and gain, sometimes wrecking throw, and you have like one point where you have to make a decision, so you cannot take everything. But with these talents, generally you will be able to take everything. I'm going to show you right now. So if you take the basics, right, and you are actually going in arena, and you want to have Stormbolt of obviously, and you want either Spear of Bastion or either the Thunderous Roar, and you are actually good to go. You have one more point where you can spend again on utility, and pretty much you will go for Wrecking Throw or Shattering Throw, and you will have everything you actually want. So you want Intervene, you want Rallying Cry, you want maybe Inspiring Presence, you want Fast Footwork, you want Stormbolts, you want Wrecking Throw, you want Pain and Gain. Everything is actually takeable for you to actually perform in arenas. So you don't have like a point where you are not able to spend because you have so many points to spend. And that's because of defensive stance being baseline. Now, again, you still have a floating point for concussive blows, which is actually very good for even bursting some casters. So you could still remove Inspiring Presence and still go for concussive blows, and you would be golden. You can even go a bit more greedy, I would say, and you remove Fast Footwork and concussive blow, and maybe go for Crushing Force if you want to do a slam build. Then you will have to find another point to get Barbaric Training, for example. Let's say, oops, that was not intended. If you wanted to go for Bitter Immunity, you take Bitter Immunity out and you go for Barbaric Training, and you will be also very good for your slam build. But that's for the slam build. If you want to see the arms tree, it is actually very interesting. You will have the usual talents here and there: improved overpower, martial prowess, improved execute, and die by the sword. But the one thing that it changes, you have now a choice node between Stormwall, which is only very good versus meaties, and that's it, and Ignore Pain, which is basically the thing that you will probably have to take. It's only 35 rage, by the way, which is insane. You will ignore 50% of the damage taken up to total damage prevented, which is insane. It's even better than in Shadowlands. 35 rage, I think it's going to get like probably 60 rage or something like that at the end of the day, but right now it is 35. And what you can basically build your dream arms warrior, right? You want anger management, or you want maybe a longer duration on Colossus Smash and Avatar, which is 100% longer. So whenever you're doing Colossus Smash, it will be 20 seconds Colossus Smash, or if you are doing an Avatar, it will be 40 seconds Avatar. But the actual damage bonus will be reduced by 40%. So you'll have some choices there. Blunt instruments, again, I'm going for that, and then in for the kill. And accelerating blows changed locations with the Massacre, and Massacre took the location of the improved Mortal Strike, which is basically a boring talent, a 5% increase on damage. So now you take both of them, and you have now a choice node between improved Sweeping Strikes, because Sweeping Strike is now a baseline spell for arms, and Strength of Arms, which basically is an improvement for overpower, which probably everyone will take. It is too good. 10% increased critical strike chance and deals 10% increased critical strike damage. So basically they are kind of forcing us into the crit builds, which is, I think, alright for everyone. I think critting is just fun to play around and to play with. You go for Dreadnought again, and you have 2 points to spend. What I would do, since you have now Ignore Pain and you need a lot of rage, I would probably take Blood Surge and Rend, so you have always 2 bleeds running up. It will just give you passive regen on rage, and you can then always spend Ignore Pain, especially whenever you are getting kited and you need that rage to actually spend on Ignore Pain. That will give you the rage that you need in RPGs, in arenas, in Soul Shuffle, in whatever gameplay. I would not do that in 2s, for example, because you don't have a lot of targets to actually bleed with your Bladestorm, for example. You can take the Storm of Destruction, basically applying Mortal Wound on everyone, plus also the Deep Wounds effects on everyone, which actually gives you great burst and great opportunities to actually regen that rage. Valorant Victory is only 1 point now. I already discussed it in my previous videos about the PTR for Warriors. This is actually massive. Again, 1 point instead of 2. It means that you can actually take everything you really want. I would go for Bladestorm, I would go for Unhinged, because I still want Unhinged to be nice, but you can also just hop out of Unhinged if you really don't want to. Okay, take Sharpened Blades with Execution Precision, you take Depth Experience 2 times, you take, of course, Battle Lord, you take Fatality, and then you have like a spare point where you can use it everywhere and nowhere. What I would do is just take Bloodletting. Again, longer duration on bleeds, which makes it a bit easier to actually manage to get the Blood Surge, to actually get more Ignore Pains. Again, it's a 1 second CD, so you can basically spam it if you want to and if you need to. I think it's a fantastic change. I wasn't really a fan of Ignore Pain in Shadowlands, but I must say that it felt good to not die. And in Dragonflight, I love my ARMS Warrior. I'm already duelist now in Soul Shuffle. I'm trying to push to 2.4k, but I must say that whenever I'm playing ARMS, after a long session of ARMS, I count the many times I got one-shotted, and it is massive compared to, let's say, whenever I'm playing other specs or other classes, like for example warlocks, where, to be honest, I would never ever get one-shotted. So you can basically see the discrepancies between power levels in defense compartments. I think Ignore Pain will be maybe a 2 busted if it stays at 35 rage, but if it doesn't stay at 35 rage, it gets nerfed to 60 rage, which is, I think, more acceptable if you can really spam it, and you do get a lot of rage because of a few talents that you can go for. I think it will be all fine. I think you can now just ignore Fueled by Violence, to be honest. You can even drop something to actually have Fueled by Violence if you really want that leech effect on Deep Wounds. But Deep Wounds doesn't really heal a lot. It's like you only get 1% per tick, which is something, but it's not going to be massive in Soul Shuffle, right? 1%, it's literally nothing. It's like a fourth of a dot of a warlock, for example. So I would not mind to not take Fueled by Violence. But anyways, that is pretty much what I wanted to talk. It's actually massive, and you should look forward to actually play Arms Warrior in 10.0.5. I can understand that maybe you want to lay back and say, look, I'm going to put my Arms Warrior into the fridge and wait for the Ignore Pain to come back and to have the utility of defensive stance being free now and to have an extra point to spend, to have multiple builds as well. The only thing I would maybe think it's like a bit lame is that we cannot now build the ideal Arms Warrior tree with just one build. And you can also go for a second build, which is basically the bleed build, with Skull Splitter being basically useful to actually cause Deep Wounds to be expiring, but you can also go for Tide of Blood to actually also expire the Rend, and then you can also improve your damage with Bloodborne. But you can see that there is a few builds that you can go for. You can also go for a Rend Slam Bleed build, where you're going to actually do a lot of damage with filler abilities, which will be stronger once you have taken every single talent to improve that damage. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I didn't really want to make the longest video about this subject. I don't think my camera lighting is not that good, but excuse me. I wanted to make it in a rush because I have to go outside and do some stuff. But I wanted to discuss with you guys because, again, if you're a subscriber or a viewer and you want me to discuss about something, or you think I glossed over something I missed, please let me know. Sometimes I can make a video about it and discuss with you guys. And if you want to see my insight and also just my opinion about things, you can always let me know, and I will always respond, and I will always give you right if you are right and I am wrong, because I think that's healthy communication between you guys and me. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. I'm super excited for 10.0.5. I'm actually like fanboying about Blizzard right now, because I think they're doing a lot of great things, although sometimes it feels like it's slow. It was a holiday season where basically they were on holiday for about 2 weeks, but now they're working back. Socialful will be better in 2 weeks time, in next week, anytime really. They're going to improve on it. They also are very excited about it, so I feel like they're not going to abandon that project, which is massive for us PvPers. They're going to change a lot of class designs. They are talking about like changes for retribution paladin that they are going to do, I think, on the same level as feral druids and balanced druids, for example. They're going to try to balance the game into a way where every class has a chance into the S tier, A tier, B tier, and of course your spec can be C tier at one point, but the next patch can be massive for you and you will get to the A tier or S tier into a tier list, right? So I think that's the best thing about retail compared to Wrath of the Lich King, for example. You'll have always changes. You will always have sometimes a meta change which makes the game more fresh for us PvPers. It can be frustrating if your class is getting nerfed, but again, Dragonflight is a very alt-friendly like expansion. If you're not tied to one spec, just play other specs and have fun with them. If you want to follow the FODM, like flavor of the month, just do that. If you want to stick with the specs that you like, you will get better anyways, because you have expertise into that spec. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And be sure to stay safe. We will catch each other very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this,